Good morning and welcome to the morning break. I am Rob Patz. It is good to be here with you on this fine Monday. Hey, I got to hear, by the way, I'm really, I'm terrible at keeping secrets. So I wasn't going to tell you the secret until we came up to the 1 year of the show. But we actually got some music made. An intro, we'll play it coming up in just about a month and a half as we will celebrate 1 year of doing the show. It's crazy to think it's been 1 year. Hope you had a great weekend, whatever you did. I got my hair cut. You saw that. Looked a lot different than I did last week. I got my hair cut and colored. Got rid of those pesky gray sides that I don't know what's happening there. Never had gray hair, and all of a sudden now I have gray sides. And it's not even like the whole thing. Like my wife goes, "It's not that bad." Yes, it is. It's that bad. So I go and I get this. It's like from here. It's really weird. It's like from right here to like right here, and it goes all the way to behind my ear. I don't like that. So we got a few more other music intros to start with leading up, but I think we've got one that's done. I really do. I think we've got a really cool new open for the show. A lot of new things happening when we celebrate 1 year. Now, it may not happen exactly on the date, but it may roll out in the fall as we add a whole bunch of new stuff. Some of those things you're going to see kind of as test things through the summer. Hey, I'm getting ready, by the way, just so you know. Week of the 4th of July, I will be out of the office actually for those 2 weeks, the first 2 weeks of July. I will be in Puerto Rico. I'll be in San Juan for a little bit, and then we're going out and doing some other fun stuff. But yes, just so you know. By the way, time for us to do our My-Snackies look-in cam, and I talked about this. You realize that over 70% of people that are going to be taking vacations this year are going to do them by car. What a great way to spend some time while you're on the road. Get some My-Snackies. Go to my-snackies.com. Freeze-dried snacks. Now, I got to be honest, never really knew a lot about freeze-dried snacks until, well, this year. And until really My-Snackies became a sponsor here on the show. The look-in cam, by the way, is out of Vancouver, British Columbia. It's a kayak company, and it's just very cool looking. Yeah, I love that. So the My-Snackies look-in cam, and just I love the idea. I'm not. We were talking yesterday with some friends. We were at church, and they were talking about road trips. And one of the people we were talking to goes, "Yeah, we road tripped from Seattle here to Ohio." And I'm like, "Oh my word," because that's a long way. But if you had some My-Snackies along, you'd be awesome. I think, by the way, got to thank the great folks at 7 Weeks Coffee. It has become my thing to talk to people over the weekend. Krystal and I were out, and people now kind of see me as the coffee guy, which I think is kind of interesting. Did not plan that, but the great folks at 7 Weeks Coffee, they have incredible coffee. If you've not tried it yet, here's my suggestion. Get the 4-pack. It's called the Variety Pack. And here's one thing, and I find this so interesting. They have this very limited run Haitian blend. Now, this is very limited, so grab it right now. Amazing coffee. The great folks at 7weekscoffee.com. Use the promo code ATV10 when you order. We appreciate it so very much. I'm going to have the guys from 7 Weeks Coffee, the husband and wife that started it, probably sometime late July. It was originally scheduled for last Wednesday. My fault. I'm serious. I will tell when something happens and it's my fault. It was my goof. I double booked and unfortunately was unable to have them on the show. We'll have them on probably late July, early August. Going to be a lot of fun. It's good. Just just super cool to hear their story. Go to 7weekscoffee.com, explore around, but remember to use the promo code ATV10. They have been a sponsor now for almost a year and a half. And in fact, I always get kind of scared when we talk about sponsors and I go, ooh, are they gonna renew? It always, when you work in this world, people come and go, unfortunately, and that's always sad. But great folks at 7 Weeks Coffee, they've stayed the course with us, and we truly believe in them. Last question of the day. Last thing that we're going to talk about before our guest, Krystal Parker from the U.S. Christian Chamber of Commerce, who I'm super excited to have with us. But last question of the day. Last question of the day. Here we go. You ready? You ready for this? It's National Onion Ring Day. Now, it's a two-part question. One, if they're really good onion rings, do you pull the onion out of the onion ring and just eat that alone if they're really good onion rings? Or do you eat them together? That's question one. Question two, do you dip your onion rings in something? Now, one of my favorite places in the world, and they should be a sponsor because I mention them quite often, is Red Robin. They have their campfire sauce, which, just so you know, just for future for you, it is basically barbecue sauce. It is a little bit of mayonnaise and a little bit of ranch dressing. Now, I'm not going to tell you the exact because I've yet to figure that out, but those are the ingredients, just so you know. But they have their campfire. What do you dip it in? Are you a ketchup person? Now, my mom was a ketchup person. She loved having them with ketchup, and that was her thing. And she loved onion rings, but not a lot. And have you ever noticed, like, the idea is really great. And like when Kristen and I are out, I'll go, hey, you want to get an appetizer, get some onion rings, like when we're at Red's or any other the kind of hamburger places. And it sounds great until you're into them, until you're like 2 or 3 in and you go, that's really all I'm going to be able to eat. So, that's it. Krystal Parker, U.S. Christian Chamber of Commerce, she's going to be with us. Going to ask the question I'm going to ask you right now for you to think about. What's one habit that you've changed this year to help have better success? We're going to do that after this.
Behind every precious life, there was a choice. Behind every family moment, behind every special memory, there was a choice. A life of joy. A life that is beautifully and wonderfully made. At 7 Weeks Coffee, we are funding the pro-life movement, one cup at a time. Will you let your coffee serve a greater purpose?
Thanks to great folks at 7 Weeks Coffee. That's 7weekscoffee.com. Use the promo code ATV10. What is one habit that you've changed this year? And I tried to think of one because this is a great question. This is a question actually sent to me by one of our viewers here on The Morning Break. By the way, Stacy, thanks for watching. Appreciate you. She said she catches us every chance she gets when she gets to be home and work from home. That's so cool. Thank you, Stacy, for watching and for asking the question. And I'll have to be honest, 2026, I really haven't added anything to my repertoire as far as habits. So I really don't have one. 2025, I started writing my blessings down every night. And you know what habit that changed the habit of looking at each day as nothing really happening and being really grateful for what God has in business. And one of the people that I'm grateful for, I did not meet her in 25, but I met her in, I think, 23. It is the lady that is the head who's not looking up. She's not looking up at the camera because I don't know what she was doing. She just got her lead in, and yet she's looking down. It is the one, the only, Krystal Parker, the head of the U.S. Christian Chamber of Commerce. Her one habit that she's starting today for the rest of the year is when the camera goes hot, that she's looking up at the camera. That's the thing we're going to do.
I'm here. I'm right here. I'm my gosh. It's so funny. Hi, Rob. I'm so glad to be here. Thanks for having me. I'm cracking up at your intro. I'm really started laughing at your Pavlovian response to the campfire sauce. Like you're literally watering and drooling there, talking about the onion rings there at Red Robin. Red Robin, right?
Yep.
Yep.
Yo.
Yep. I've eaten those several times, but yeah, your Pavlovian response was hilarious.
Oh.
I'm sorry, I wasn't looking up. I was reading. I knew I wrote about this in my new book, The Christian CEO. And one of the chapters is called Quitter's Day is Coming Soon. And I talk in there about how people start these new things that they do the first of the year and then they quit. There is a National Quitters Day. So you're all into these national days. And most people quit whatever they start by pretty soon after the new year. And I was refreshing my mind on the story I told in this chapter because my daughter had decided that she was going to give up bread at the new year. And she was pretty young when she did this. And so by that evening, not only was she dealing with an insatiable bread desire, she had taken down and eaten more bread than she had probably the week before. So just the thought of I'm going to quit made her want it even more. And so it's just sort of that reverse psychology. Mine, honestly, Rob, I didn't start anything new in the first of the year because I really try to live my habits out daily and redirect and get back on track pretty quickly. So I wanted to find that chapter because I'm like, well, I know Giovanna, that's my daughter, had quit something, but I couldn't remember it was that bread is what it was. So my apologies.
I was like, that was awesome. That was the best lead I've ever had. That was great. Hey, I want to show. So we talked about that, but here's the thing, and we've talked about this last year. You've seen such incredible growth. We talked about this last time with the U.S. Christian Chamber of Commerce, and if you're a business owner, and it was neat. The email that I got, or it's actually through our app. It's not an email. Stacy talking about the fact that when she works from home, that she watches. So we have a lot of business people that watch. Awesome. And I want to ask you a question and I thought of this question because it was asked of me this past week. What is the one piece of advice in this last year that you've heard that kind of has rung through your life? Like you go, ooh, I like that. I'm going to grab hold of that. What is the one piece that you've had this year or this last year?
Yeah, I don't even know when it came to me, but one that really resonates with me, and I just have to keep reminding myself of it, is the fastest way to kill something special is to compare it to something else. Because we fall into this comparison trap. And, oftentimes, whether we're working at home or whether we're out in the corporate world, we're always tempted to see where other people are, what they're doing, even just on the virtual online social media world. Sometimes just even a scroll, you start to get that ick feeling inside of yourself, or I'm not enough, I'm not doing enough, I'm not, successful enough, I don't have enough education, I'm not making the money, I'm not pretty enough, I'm not skinny enough, I'm not whatever it is, I don't have the newest this, that. And then you start to feel that ick inside. And just that reminder of the fastest way to kill something special is to compare it to something else. And just the reminder to everyone listening in, and even myself this morning, is just, you're on this race. You're uniquely and wonderfully made. You're exactly where you're supposed to be for the season that you're in. And doesn't mean that you don't quit growing and trying and improving and sharpening your sword. Absolutely not. But just remember that you're on your own track. Your you is your superpower. You're the best you that will ever be on this earth, ever. And so be the very best you that you can be, because your uniqueness is your special sauce. And so that would just be my advice and what I have to constantly remind myself today.
I love what you said. And I think that part of that for me then is because I'm like let's get this done. I'm a checklist guy. And I think that the biggest, and by the way, just off record, well, it's going to be on the show now, but Krystal likes to make fun of the fact that I still hard write stuff down. This has been one of the first times we met. she goes, oh no. And I had to show her my day planner, which I carry with me besides the fact that I have an whole electronic system now. I still love the way to write stuff down.
Mhm.
But I think the biggest thing for me this past year, the last 12 months, is sometimes it takes longer to get something done than we think,
Hmm.
because God is kind of defining moments inside of that, and we're kind of learning stuff. And maybe the steps that we're taking, like, I just want to get things done. You know me, I'm like, okay, let's do this. Okay, let's do it today. We'll do it right now. Let's set this up. And I'm working actually on a really big project, which we're going to talk about here in about a month to a month and a half. It'll be fully launched, and it's taken way longer than I thought it should have. But God has kind of taught me in that process that though I'm here where He wants me, it's not where I want to be always. Don't you feel that way sometimes? It's like, I'm sure you feel that way sometimes with the chamber, is that, oh, I want 5 offices in every state, and so basically 250 chamber of commerce. I'm sure you feel that same way like I do. It's like, I want everything to grow fast. But I think sometimes God puts us in a situation where comparison, like you talked about, is hard because we're comparing ourselves, but God has our plan, our path, our time.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's a big topic for my book, Rob, and my newest book is called The Christian CEO. And in that book, the whole book, the premise is formation under pressure. This tension that exists as a Christian business leader and a follower of Jesus Christ. Well, let me flip that around. First, a follower of Jesus Christ and a business leader. And it's not either or, it's yes and. And so the world will push you into KPIs, hit the goals, big strategic plan, set this, fight for it, strive for it, challenge you to go. But God's calling us on this narrow path. It's not the wide road. And so what does that mean in terms of, I know the plans I have for you, and to really be, uniquely positioned to keep your eye focused on Him while still working in the world and operating the world and trying to be successful and run a successful business. And so this tension isn't anything new. And so that's what the whole premise of that book is to help people operate under that tension, create the formation under pressure so that they can think through things prior to stepping into them. And I've had a lot of really great feedback on this book, but I think the biggest way that I could just sum it up and encourage people to sort of resolve that tension is not look at it as I have to do this or that. There is the ability for these things to coexist together. And, for example, one of the biggest ones that kind of my aha moment for me was, sure, I set the goals, but then I work every day. So I don't even get up and look at those. I'm focused on what do I have to do today? And I remember we hit 26 Christian chambers in the coalition. And that number just reigns so loud to me because I remember calling my daughter. She's in New York. I call her up and I said, Gia, we hit 26 Christian chambers. And then I went on to the next thing. And she goes, Mom, hold on. Rewind. What did you just say? I said, we hit 26 Christian chambers. Now, blah, blah, blah. And she goes, pause for a second. She said, if you would have quit, if you would have given up, if you would have, stopped where you were, then you never would have got there. I don't want you to forget this is a big deal. And so I think that's another part of it, Rob, is people like you and me, like we're on to the next thing. We're ready to move on. And don't forget to slow down. Take a moment to reflect on what God has done through you so that can encourage you to move into that next season and carry that with you.
I think that happens with people that are goal people. Mm-hmm. Is like, okay, I accomplished that.
Right.
And you don't take the time to celebrate it. And you're just like, okay, well, that's done. Next, because maybe it's just me, but and I don't know if you're like this, is like, I already see that success, whatever it is. So I'm not surprised when it finally happens.
Yeah.
I'm more surprised when it doesn't happen. And I know there are people like, oh, so you're like all these positive. You have to be positive. If you're an entrepreneur, you have to be positive because nobody else is. They're like, oh, this is never going to work. I've heard that so much. We heard that when we started the TV network. People were saying, this is never going to be. So what are you doing? And they gave you all the bad things. Well, in my mind, I saw where we were today.
Yeah.
And so for me to see the success that we have right now isn't all that exciting because I saw it. and so I'm like, okay, that's really neat. But I'm more excited about the next thing that I'm working on or the next thing that's coming. And so you talked about the book. Where can they get the book?
Sure. You can go to Amazon, just search for The Christian CEO, and it'll pop right up there. Easy to find and order wherever you get books.
Yeah. And I want you, because there might be new people, because the show is growing, because they knew that Krystal Parker was going to be on. So they went, oh, we're going to watch, but no, in all seriousness, easy for me to say on this Monday, is I want you to talk to somebody that has never heard about the U.S. Christian Chamber of Commerce. I want you to give everybody kind of the elevator pitch. Give them about 2 minutes, because first time I heard about this, we were in Orlando. And if you remember, we were at NRB, and I was at the booth next. My wife went over and talked to you. And then my wife came and grabbed me and goes, this is somebody you've got to meet. And it was nothing against the person I was talking to, but she was like, this is a person you've got to meet. So give everybody the like 2 minutes elevator pitch about what is U.S. Christian Chamber of Commerce and how they can get involved.
Absolutely. Okay. So, well, first I want to say on that meeting at NRB, that was our launch event. And so that was 3 years ago was our launch event. And it was and is very exciting what God's doing through this mission. Christian Chamber, for those people that are not even familiar with what a Christian Chamber is, we all know chambers of commerce. If you're in small business, you're familiar with the Chamber of Commerce. Well, chambers of commerce work. It's a 400-plus-year-old business model that works to give business owners in communities and nationally and in their state access to resources, access to exposure for their business, access to people, connections, social capital, basically. Well, what's happened in our nation as our nation has become a post-Christian society, looking more like the world, less Christians, then the chambers reflect what's in the world. So Christian businesses have been pushed out or disenfranchised. They feel like these aren't my people. This isn't where I want to go to do business. This isn't how I do business. I don't want to pay membership dollars to support candidates that don't believe in my values. I don't want to pay membership dollars to support businesses that have a diabolical hatred towards Christian values. I don't want to support through my membership dollars chambers of commerce that don't have a biblical foundation. And I want to find where the Christian businesses are. So we've taken a 400-year-old model and we're taking it back for the kingdom of God. And we're doing Christian chambers of commerce so that Christian businesses can have access to social capital. They can connect that Sunday to Monday in their business, understand that it's more than just a business. It's business is a force for good. It's stewardship. Help understand where the Christian businesses are so that we can move and shift the economy for kingdom commerce. When those dollars stay in the Christian business community, they flow out into all 7 spheres of influence in a powerful and positive way. And so we are taking back this nation $1 at a time through small and mid-sized and even large Christian and kingdom businesses.
And I love some of the resources. Talk to some people that are out there that are business owners, because this is replayed at night and is then on demand. But talk to some of the business owners. I mean, it's incredible stuff that you got for resources. Talk to them about that.
Yeah, absolutely. So inside of our member portal, so you are a member, you log in. Inside of our member portal is this treasure trove of information and documentation to help you do business as a believer. And we've aggregated all of these incredible resources in one easy, wonderful place. One of our events that we are doing actually tomorrow is called Insider Access. And that's going to really help members kind of know where some of these little treasure troves are inside, because it's so much. It's literally so much. Membership pays. There's significant value in membership, but there's so much. There's no way we could ever do it all in an orientation call. And so, for example, just even T-Factor on Demand through Coca-Cola Consolidated, which is a publicly traded company that's doing discipleship and prayer groups and all these chaplaincy, incredible things to advance kingdom inside a publicly traded company. And they have a T-Factor on demand. So it's an on-demand. We have it accessible for our members to be able to listen in and find out what they're doing. I mean, that's one of many, 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 many things that are inside this community to give them access to information to help them, strengthen them, and grow their organization in a powerful way. We want to take small business solopreneurs and mid-sized business and help them get to the next level. And so that's our goal inside that community.
And I will tell you this, and I of course, disclaimer, I'm a part of this, so just so you know, but I you're right. I spent like a half hour, 45 minutes one day just going through the portal and going, oh, that's cool. Oh, that's cool. I didn't know that was in there. And I almost sent you an email. Go, there's all kinds of stuff I didn't know was here. But I think that those are kind of the big picture things. The thing that I have found and that I love about what Krystal, the kind of the community that she's created is the people that you get to be friends with. And I love, and again, don't get me wrong, I love business. I grew up around it. I've spent my life being an entrepreneur. But the thing that has really marked me to the point where I am a champion for this organization is the fellowship with other Christians who are like-minded, who want to do business, who want to not only do business, because we all, of course, obviously we've got to make a living. I mean, that's why we're doing what we do, but also have an aligned mindset. And that is when it's cool. And Krystal is our amazing leader. She does an incredible job. You need to grab the book. Tell them about the book.
It's called The Christian CEO, and it is hardback, no sleeve.
Woo!
Jump in, 52 short stories with some really great reflection, Bible stories, and insight to help you deal with that tension of leadership as a Christian business owner in a fallen world.
Okay, 6 months left of the year. What's the thing that you're most excited for in the next 6 months?
Is it really 6 months?
That's a little over 6 months, but come on, Krystal, you're not going to be on the show next month, so come on.
Goodness, 6 months left. My hair's on fire. No, gosh, we just wrapped up SWC 2026, which was our global biannual conference. We had over 600 Christian business owners that attended that. And inside that event, we did 5 labs, and we did think tank labs, no boring, breakout sessions, no offense, but we wanted to hear and mine the human capital perspective for 5 main issues: AI, unity, currency, faith at work, and policy. And so we had these 5 think tank labs. And from that, we were answering, what are the issues impacting Christian business? What are the solutions? And if we get this right, what's our big opportunity? And so those 5 core initiatives helped to shape and will continue to shape our content. AI has been a big focus for us. We need Christian business owners utilizing this tool. And it's a tool and a resource. And it's nothing to be afraid of. But if we don't get these businesses adopting this technology and utilizing it to its fullest extent and leading the way, then we're going to see a lot of Christian businesses go out of business. And so this is really important. Unity. If we can't come together as the body of Christ, no matter what your political ideology is or your denomination or socioeconomic, we have got to unite as the body of Christ. It's biblical. It talks about this in the Bible. So we've got to get over the small things so that we can come together for the big things. And unity is a big focus for us. And the list goes on.
That's awesome. Hey, Krystal, thanks for being with us today. I appreciate you so much.
Appreciate you too, Rob. Thanks for having me.
Krystal Parker, she is awesome. And hey, listen, we appreciate you. It is time for us to get out of here. We will see you tomorrow with another morning break.